All right, let's dive in. Today, we're looking at a framework for fixing what's broken in our workplaces. But here's the kicker without breaking the people in them. It's called the Belle Morph method, and it's all about finding a path from total chaos to real clarity. So, let's just start with a question that gets right to the point. Think about your own work for a second. Where does it feel heavier than it really needs to be? That simple question, it cuts right to the heart of the problem we're all trying to solve. You know that feeling of heaviness? It's not just in your head. It's a real symptom, a sign that the system you're working in is out of whack, creating all this friction and frustration where there should just be flow. I mean, does any of this look familiar? Misalignment, where it feels like teams are pulling in completely different directions. That feeling of constant overwhelm, those silos that just kill collaboration. These aren't personal failings, you know? They are universal signs that the system itself is the problem. Okay, so if the system's the problem, what do we do about it? Well, this is where Belle Morph asks us to make a pretty fundamental shift in perspective toward what it calls a human-centered system. And this slide highlights the huge contrast. The typical approach, it's to fix the person. It assumes someone messed up, which, let's be honest, just leads to blame and burnout. The Belle Morph approach flips that completely. The focus is on fixing the system. It assumes there are gaps in the process, and that simple shift leads to clarity and a sense of shared ownership. It's a game changer. And this really gets to the core philosophy of the whole thing. A system is just a tool. It's like a perfectly designed car that won't go anywhere if the driver isn't trained or confident. A process only works if people feel safe, competent, and included. You can have the best process in the world, but if the human element is ignored, it's going to fail. So this isn't just a nice idea. It's a really practical path forward. Let's take a look at the actual roadmap it provides to move out of all that chaos. The whole method is broken down into these 5 clear modules. It starts with standards, like what do we actually expect? Then it clarifies roles, who does what. It builds a system for accountability, refines the process for consistency, and then wraps it all in the most important layer, the humans who have to make it all work. And this quote just perfectly captures why that second module, roles, is so vital. When it's not crystal clear who owns what, you get confusion because people are stepping on each other's toes, or, even worse, projects get dropped because everyone thought someone else was handling it. Both of those outcomes create enormous and completely unnecessary stress. Okay, now let's dive a little deeper into that third module, accountability. This is one of the biggest mindset shifts in the entire framework, learning how to approach accountability without blame. This is where real, lasting cultural change actually starts to take root. We've seen this phrase before, and it's repeated for a reason. It is the absolute cornerstone of this method. When something goes wrong, the question is not who's to blame. The question becomes, what part of our system allowed this to happen, and how do we fix it? This totally reframes accountability as a neutral, constructive act of just making things better. And here's the tool for doing just that. The rectify loop is so simple and practical. You spot an issue, you name it factually, no emotion, you dig deep to understand the real root cause. Then you adjust the system, not the person. And crucially, you document the change so the fix actually sticks. It's all about correction, not punishment. So that final module, humans, is what brings it all together. You can design the most efficient system in the entire world, but if you don't have empathy in how you roll it out, people will reject it. It's all about merging efficiency with our actual humanity. This is such a critical insight, right? We often assume people just hate change. But really, what people resist is feeling powerless. They resist being caught off guard and being made to feel like they don't know what they're doing. The humans module is designed specifically to deal with that reality. So instead of just dropping a new process on the team, you guide them through it with empathy. You pre-frame it, you give them a heads up, you educate them on the why behind it all. You create a safe space for them to practice, then you support them through the transition. After that, you reinforce the new behaviors and work to make sure those improvements actually last. That's how you turn a chaotic change into a smooth one. When you finally bring all these pieces together, you've got clear standards, defined roles, blame-free accountability, and an empathetic rollout, you get so much more than just a better workflow. You get a real, meaningful transformation. So I'll leave you with this last reflective question. Ambiguity is the enemy of clarity.
It's the fertile ground where inefficiencies, stress, and blame are born. So, where in your work, your team, or your organization have you just tolerated it for too long? Ultimately, this is the key takeaway. Real transformation isn't some big one-time event. It's built day by day through the operational courage to demand clarity and the unwavering commitment to build systems that truly support the humans who are using them.